Hello guys, I used to be a big Camp Lazlo fan, up until one incident that changed my life. It was a normal day. It was the beginning of spring in 2008 when I got a call from my cousin telling me that he had gotten a DVD for the 6th season of Camp Lazlo. I was like, what? Season 6 hasn't released yet. But he told me to come watch it, so I walked into his house and he showed me the DVD. Looked like a normal disc with the text Camp Lazlo Season 6 written in blood. I got so scared I screamed, but then my cousin slapped me and told me to shut up. Then he inserted the disc into his DVD player and then the TV started malfunctioning and it had a black screen for 24 minutes until the episode started. It started with Scoutmaster Lumpus crying, saying, "I can't take this anymore." Wild memories flashed of Lazlo ruining the proposal he made to Ms. Doe. He then walks outside, but Lazlo accidentally trips him. Then he fell into the road and got run over by a car, and then the TV went black for a few seconds. We were very confused, but then the episode continued. Slinkman was now the main Scoutmaster because Lumpus died. Then Lazlo started to cry and Edward got mad at him, punching him in the face and saying, "Shut the heck up." We didn't understand what was going on, but we didn't stop the DVD. The episode continued as normal, but Lazlo was crying in his bed while Edward walked to the Scoutmaster's cabin and found Slinkman hanged to the ceiling. He then grabbed a gun from a drawer. We were shocked and our face looked like WTH. Then Edward walks to the flag and declares himself the new Scoutmaster of Camp Kidney and forces everyone to beat up Lazlo in order to get a badge. They start ganging upon Lazlo and beat him with everything they have, even metal tubes and boiling water. "We always hated you, Lazlo. We will never forgive you." Everyone was beating Lazlo except the jelly beans, who stayed inside their cabins. Eventually he gets beat to a pulp and then Lazlo goes into his bed and cries himself to sleep, but then it cuts to the middle of the night where Lazlo has bloodshot eyes. We got really scared. I wanted to stop the disc but my body wouldn't move. Then Lazlo got out of the cabin with his totem pole and went into Edward's cabin, where he waked him up and shoved the totem down his throat. Edward started to cry and then he began bleeding. We were WTH and perplexed at what was happening, and then Edward exploded into a pile of blood. Then Lazlo went back to his cabin and went to sleep. The DVD started glitching and my cousin said, "What the heck was that?" But then the DVD started again and Lazlo waited for the other Bean Scouts to come out of their cabins. When all of them came out, he started killing them. He grabbed Samson's head and pressed it against the river, drowning him. "How'd you like that, Claude Meyer?" Then he ripped another one's head, pouring extreme amounts of blood. We were scared and tried to run, but our legs wouldn't move. Then I saw Rush and Clem looking at Lazlo and running away. Then Lazlo started murmuring backwards. He then set the whole camp on fire, making it blow up, killing everyone. My cousin was going crazy and started crying. Then it cut to Rush and Clem, who were running away from the camp, but then Lumpus started crawling to them as a zombie and he started biting their heads. It was very animated, very grotesquely, but then he gets killed by Commander Hoo-Ha. But then he sees Lazlo behind him and then the screen cuts to black and we hear an horrible scream. I couldn't take it anymore. I broke the TV and then I smashed the DVD. I eventually calmed down and tried to get out of the house, but the door was locked. Me and my cousin eventually broke the door and ran outside. We eventually ran far away until we got tired. Suddenly we heard a laugh from behind. We looked back and there he was, that damned monkey. I ended up waking up about a week later on the hospital bed. I suffered no major injuries, but my cousin was in a coma. My parents drove me home and I decided to lay in my bed. Thinking about what happened, I felt something sharp behind me, and there it was, a disc with letters written with blood. Camp Lazlo Season 6. I stopped watching that show and became more interested in other cartoons, but I'll never forget that day. That I will forever regret.